Unfortunately, the Nashville Predators fall to the Arizona Coyotes 7-5 after giving up not just one, but two-goal leads and wasted yet another Philip Forsberg 2-goal performance, which again, if you've been following along since last episode, that does bring Forsberg's totals for the last 7 games up to 5 goals and 13 points in those last games. So credit to him, because he's really playing his butt off right now, as is Mr. 1000 himself, Ryan O'Reilly. But this game had a lot of issues, obviously. Biggest one, I think, the penalty kill, giving up 3 penalty kill goals when they were shorthanded to the Arizona Coyotes on 5 attempts, and the power play going just 1 for 4 on the evening. Now, one of the things, though, that I think that contributes to the power play is something that we really haven't talked a whole lot about or mentioned, and it's the performance of one player that was specifically actually brought in to help address the power play issues, and he's going to be the topic of tonight's One Big Stat. Tyson Barrie came from Edmonton in the trade that sent Mattias Ekholm up there, and one of the big things that he was touted for was his ability on the power play. Now, obviously, when you played on a power play with guys like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, you're going to put up some pretty gaudy numbers. However, Tyson Barrie really hasn't been as advertised with the man advantage this season so far. So let's take a look at that. First, out of all the players who play at least 20 minutes on the power play, Tyson Barrie is dead last in points per 60, just managing just 2.6, which is, again, last on the team for that. But we also want to look at, he's only scored just the 2 points, period, two assists. But the power play isn't all the game, obviously, and we want to look at how he has done on 5-on-5. Now, tonight, he actually was one of the better players at 5-on-5. Gotta give him a lot of credit there. However, unfortunately, it's been not that great overall this season in the 14 games that he has played at even strength. Right now, at even strength, with at least players among 50 minutes or more, sorry about that, he is dead last in expected goals allowed per 60 with 3.1, at shot attempts per 60 at 66.2, and shots against at 39.1, all dead last. And that doesn't mean that he is giving up a whole lot, but he's creating a lot either, because his percentages in those categories are also dead last, sitting at a 40.4 for expected goals for, 38.9% for shots for, and 45% for shot attempts for share. So, unfortunately, we've seen a lot of issues defensively for Nashville, and Tyson Barrie isn't the reason for all of them, obviously. Again, he's more of an offensive defenseman, but that offense just hasn't been there this season, sitting with no goals and just 7 points on the season, only 4 of those being primary assists. But there's more to be done, because what we've seen so far is really 3 types of players on this Predators team so far this season. We've got the veterans who are really stepping up and carrying things, which I think you could safely put Philip Forsberg and Ryan O'Reilly in that category, of course. You have the young guys who are kind of stepping up despite still going through some growing pains, guys like Juuso Parssinen, but especially Tommy Novak, Luke Evangelista, and Kiefer Sherwood, who also scored tonight. And then you've got the players who've just kind of been there, the veterans who haven't really been able to make much of an impact, and Tyson Barrie is unfortunately one of those guys. You would expect that a lot of this from a young team that has a lot of players who are just for the first time playing together this season, but you expect some of your more veteran players to be able to step up and help carry this team, and so far this year, Tyson Barrie's kind of been a no-show. I'm not saying that he should be not on the team or be a healthy scratch or anything like that, but he's definitely going to have to step up his play for the Nashville Predators if he is going to want to be with this team long term, because as of right now, he's just not doing it. And that's tonight's One Big Stat.